community. And if their reaction is to what's happening in Jerusalem, they're going to take everything to an extreme. So if I take one ritual immersion bath as a priest, when I go to the temple, I'm going to do just a couple more down here. So their main duty during the day is going to be copying scrolls. Biblical scrolls, extra biblical scrolls, apocryphal scrolls, rules of the community, all sorts of different scrolls. All right? But you can see how much they revere God's word when it comes to copying specifically the biblical scrolls. I think I mentioned this the other day, that this community, every time they wrote God's name before they did it, they went and did a ritual immersion bath. Did I mention that?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I said, how many times is the name of God mentioned in the Bible? I remember now. A lot. So these guys are constantly going back and forth and filling up, doing ritual immersion baths, and then back and to finish copying the Torah scrolls. So these guys are really taking the reverence of God to a whole nother level. And this is the reaction to what's happening in Jerusalem. Well, that's only one aspect. They wake up, they do a ritual immersion bath, they eat together, they clean together. Everything about this community is together. They do it together, a true community, which is why they call themselves the Yachad. Okay? Now, one weird thing about this community is it's 100% male. There are no women here. Okay? Which is kind of weird, because if these guys are very zealous and they come here as a reaction to what's happening in Jerusalem, you guys know what the very first command God gave mankind was? Go forth and multiply. Yes. Well, how can you call yourself a zealous man of God if you're breaking the very first command he's ever given mankind, right? Kind of impossible. Plus, if we talk about the whole concept of everything we've done, all of these pilgrimages to Jerusalem is community, then how do you have community if it's all males? One generation, there goes community. We're all dead now. Yeah. That's the end of this town, right? So it doesn't work. But because I know you already have the answer in you, I'm just going to say it out loud, because I forgot momentarily that you guys are brilliant. This community does not come here to live and retire. This is a place that you come to for a moment in your life, a place to draw closer to God's purposes. Meaning, if I'm going to start a family, God willing, one day I'll be introduced to a very nice young woman, we'll get married, and have lots and lots of kids. That's what we're supposed to do. But before I can do that, I know that the whole point of life is to pass on everything I know to my kids. Most importantly, God, right? My relationship with God is going to be passed on to my kids, and hopefully they'll have a better one with God. But how can I teach my child about God if I don't know who God is? I mean, I know what the priests tell me who God is. I know what the Pharisees tell me who God is, but in my perspective, these guys are all corrupt. They don't know who God is, which is actually true to a certain extent. So how am I going to trust these guys, right? I can't. And we're talking about my child's life here. This is the most important thing. So this community comes down here, they retreat from society, and they spend all day learning the intricacies of relationship with God. Okay? And then when you finally figure it out, when you've been here long enough, you can go back to wherever you came from, you can meet a nice girl, you can get married, and you can have many, many kids. And that way you can pass on the true relationship, what a true relationship with God really looks like, so that your child will actually have some sort of godly relationship. And hopefully we can turn around what this corrupt priesthood is doing in Jerusalem. So everything that's happening here is a reaction to what's happening in Jerusalem. All right? Now this is 200 BC. This is long before Yeshua was walking around. Okay? So you can see how long this cry has actually been happening within the people of Israel before someone actually takes it into their own hands. So we're going to walk through the community here. We're going to stay on the path. I will make this a little bit quicker. Okay. You guys are everyone go float.
What is the community called?
Yachad. Yachad.
So there's no Essenes anymore.
No, there are no thieves anymore. Now, I just don't 100% know that there are thieves, but you can compare their lives and see if they're similar. One example of that is, remember when we were in the Asim quarter yesterday, and Yeshua describes how to go find the upper room. A man will show you where the upper room is, or take you to his master. What's the description? What? The man carrying water.
Yeah.
I told you, men don't carry water. That's a woman's job. That's far below us. Just kidding. Just kidding. But
Why are you carrying water?
Yeah.
Right there.
I meant men, not me. I carry everything.
Good thing your wife's not here.
I carry my wife if she's here. I have to say that because she wasn't definitely. But This is the same concept. There's no women in that community because they do the exact same thing. They come together as a male community in order to draw closer to God before they go out and marry and have kids. The glory of life, the relationship with God on the kids. Now, one question, and I know you guys are asking your mind right now, where is the water from? We are in the middle of the desert. I can see the Dead Sea, and I can't see anything that heritage constructed over here. So that's a great question. I'll answer that. If you look at this path that we were just on and continue all the way up towards the mountainside, you'll notice a little bridge in the distance. Can you guys see the bridge from here? Anybody?
The walking bridge?
The walking bridge, yeah. That walking bridge is going over a water channel. So what looks like is lining the road over here is actually lining, sorry, it's not a lining, it's a channel coming down. So this is an ancient aqueduct. It goes up the side of the mountain. It looks like a path over there, but that's an aqueduct. It's bringing water down directly into this town. Now, if you come over here to the bridge, it's cut off between here and there. Okay, but you can see it continues right here. This is what it would have looked like back in biblical days. Back then, it would have been covered over. You would have had stones on top to stop evaporating or getting dirt as well. But nonetheless, anytime it rains in the mountains, very much like Masada, it rains up in the mountains. Jerusalem is just in that direction, not too far away. So the water will flow down here. It'll fill up the aqueduct, and it'll flow and fill up the ritual immersion bath. It'll fill up the water system. It fills everything up. So these guys, just like the people at Masada, are twiddling their thumbs, and God's making it rain in the mountains. Now, right there, cave number 4.
Okay. Yeah, how do you get that?
You don't. Oh, you got to be 2,000 years old.
I am.
Last person to step foot in there was killed by the Romans. You sure you want to go in? I think he's still in there. Just kidding.
How come that's cave number 4?
Because it comes in a series of 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes up to 11. There's 11 caves in the area here at Qumran. Most of them up on the side of the mountain over there, but this one's number 4. The only reason why this one's famous is this one cave has produced more scrolls for us than any other cave.
So people have been in there then. Some folks have been in there. Which one did the kid throw the rock into? That one?
Yeah. But here's the thing, it wasn't a kid, it was like a 40-year-old man.
I thought it was a child.
They say kid because that's his status within the Bedouin tribe.
Okay.
But it was 2 brothers and they were both like 40. We should see them, they smile, they're like toothless, gray beards. Kind of like me. So cave number 4, they have over 16,000 fragments of scrolls found in that cave. We're not going to sit and get comfortable because I can see Josh was really, really wanted to that seat. That's okay, no one cares about history. Nothing important happened here. Oh, tough place. Yes.
Oh, look at that tree.
This site right here is faith building. Well, let's go float in the bus. No, we will talk about this. Just on the way to the bus, on and on
I'll take
the
a
bus.
picture here quick, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, you have something.
Picture. I have something to say. Let's take a picture over here.
No. Kids on way over there. No, I see. Qumran.
Whoever, you know what we need to do? I'm so sorry. We stand over there.
This whole site, this community is called Qumran. Eli. And one of the sheep went astray and kind of got lost. So what the shepherds will usually do is they'll take a rock and they'll throw it into the cave. And the big boom will scare the sheep and they'll come running out. Well, they threw a stone into the cave and there was a big boom and nothing came running out, but they heard a smashing. And not too long before this, there was a massive copper hoard found in the region, closer to at Ein Gedi. So they thought, hey, jackpot, we found some buried treasure. Let's go see what it is. And they were so excited, they rushed in, they found a broken pot, they moved all the pieces, and they found scrolls. And they said, well, this isn't gold. That's not important. So they took 3 scrolls back to the elder just because they have to show that they found something to tell the story. And they gave it to the elder of the community. He doesn't speak a lick of the language that was on this paper, so he gave it to his friend, who is a Syriac Christian which is modern day Syria area, but they speak Aramaic. Okay, and we took it to. He lives in Bethlehem. He's an antiquities dealer, illegal antiquities dealer. He's a shoemaker. So he looks at it and says, "Well, I can't read this language, but I know someone that can." He takes it to his priest. And he gave all 3 scrolls to him, and he said, "Fantastic." He paid the 2 Bedouin guys $90 US. Is the way out.
Bathroom, yes.
Yep. Straight down. Yes, we're gonna use the restroom. Back in the foyer, back into the block. And then we're gonna go out.
You gonna finish the story later?
Yeah, when it goes back to the bathroom.